And from tomorrow, whatever component I will make, I'll do little faster, and then you can do yourself little, after the class. Maybe you can watch video again and do it, but I'll give you the code after I'm done for each section. So yesterday we completed this notes one, and here how it looks. Let's check how it looks. Okay, let me see if I started it. So we have to start yarn start at the source folder also, and in the example folder also. Okay, let's see now. Okay, both are done. Let's check it. So we are able to see the static version of this. Now each part will be dynamic. We have to convert everything into dynamic. Okay, because when I want to use this in my website, I should just pass the parameters, props, and this should render like this one. Okay, so let's try to do that dynamic. So let's go here. So first thing which I want to make dynamic is this title. I will also make the default values. So let's create the default values, default props. So if user will not provide, then I will use this from this one. So first thing which I need is title. So initially I just put empty, but because if user will not put anything, I will just show this title. So maybe I say my notes. I will delete this part in a minute. I'll just put for testing, I'm putting like this. And this title will go here. Okay, and I will display this title here. So first part what we did. So I put the title kind of thing. Now if we want to pass from our example one, so from the examples we will pass it. Okay, so I'll pass title here. My latest notes. Since I'm passing from here, it's showing my latest notes. And if I was not passing from here, then it was taking this default value, which I place it here. I'll remove this now. So it should empty. So it should not show anything if user pass nothing in the title. Okay, second thing what we need. We need this box part. Okay, we need this box part to be repeated. So for this we need to pass some data. So I'll pass another thing as a data. Okay, so initially the data will be here as an empty array. Okay. So now here this box part, I will show this box if we have some data. So here I will put data and data dot length. If it's greater than 0, then I will map through the data and I'll put arrow function inside the map, which has some record and index, and I will put the complete box inside the data. Return. Okay, so I put the box inside the data. So whenever the data will come from the front end, from the client side, I should be able to render this one. So in this data, so we need to now define what data should come, what is the structure of data. Okay, so let me delete all other boxes which we don't need right now. Since we didn't pass anything, so it is empty, we need to pass some data and then it will come here. So let's create one data and see how it goes. So I'll go here in the app, and here I'll define some data. Data equal to array, and here I will pass the object. Okay, so what object I need to pass? Right now I'm passing empty object, so you will see the box is coming here. But we need to make everything every part of this one as a dynamic, which will come from here as a data. Okay, so first thing which we need to see is, first thing we need to put some key for this one, because since it is array, if I don't put key, it will create a problem. So I'll put a key. Key will be, I can put item, I can put name anything, or notes underscore. Then I will put some ID I will pass from the rake. So the rake will be in the format like this. So it will be in the format like ID equal to 1, 2, 3, for example. So some ID will come in the rake. So here I will set $rake.id, and if I don't pass any ID, it will take the index. So key will be notes underscore rake.id, which is coming from here. And if we don't have any rake.id, we will pass the index. Okay, so this is something key we have passed it. Now next thing what we need, next thing is we need this name. So we should have some name here, coming here, name. So let's put the name in the data which comes here. So name will be, for example, this one. So let's put the name. Okay, and then we'll be having this added 30 minutes ago. So we should have some created date. So let's put some created date. Created at. So I will put some dummy created at. For example, let's put let's find some time, ISO time JavaScript. We need to put some ISO format. Okay, like this one. Okay, like this we'll find, put it. So created at this, and I will convert this created at to this one. Okay, added 30 minutes ago, so I will convert this into this format. So maybe I need moment for that. So I will install the moment. Let's come out of this one, and I'll install yarn add moment. So moment is a date manipulation tool. We need to install this. So if you're also free, you can also install in that, because without moment we cannot manipulate the date. Okay, I will start yarn, start again. Okay. So now I will import the moment from moment, and then I will use this for the created at. So after added 30 minutes ago, I will say added, and in the curly bracket I'll say moment, and here I have to put the created at. So created at is this one. So I'll say rect dot created at dot from now. Okay, from now. So it will show something like that. So let's put it in my app also. Otherwise it will give me error. Okay. Okay, I did this one. Let's see how it looks now. So since I did created at in 2011, and that's the reason it's showing added 11 years ago. And the name I put it here as this one, and it is displaying correctly here. We have to take care of this link also, which I will do in a minute. So I'm just putting some other things. So this is something kind of description which we need to pass. So let's put here as rec.description. So I will put some description also here. Maybe right now we'll say we'll put this as a description for now. Here also I'll put a description which will be passed. Okay, I cannot put like this. Okay, let's take it. Okay, let's take that if you change some description. Okay, so I'm getting description from here. Okay, so this is my first record. If I try to add more records, 4, 5, 6, maybe I'll name something different here. And I'll change the name to 2020 07. I think I did a month ago. This is 11 years ago. Okay, name is not coming correctly. Let's check what happened to name. Okay, I have to change this to proper name. I'll say rec.name. Okay, now I'm getting correct name. Okay, so we are done with dynamic stuff. Only thing remaining now is taking care of this URL. So first I'll create the URL also. Let's add one URL for each one. URL equal to, let's say I'll say contact show 123. So this is the URL for this user. This is the URL for this user. So whenever someone will click that URL, I should go to this URL. So generally, this A tag is there, which I don't prefer because A tag will refresh the page. We need to pass the link tag of the React Router DOM. So how to do that? So let's go to example 1, and I will install the React Router DOM here in the example folder. Because React Router DOM does not work here in the library, but it will work in the example 1. So I'll add yarn add React Router DOM, and I will make it as 5.3.0. Let's add this one. So I'm adding React Router DOM on the example 1 that is in this folder, example folder. And then I will also create the router, and then I'll create the link, and all things will come here. So let's try to create till it install. Let's create all the other stuff. So I'll create a new folder. I will name it as components. Inside components, I'll create a new file. I will name it as notes.jsx. This is my example folder, so I'm creating .jsx. Whereas in library also I can create JSX, but in library right now I'm creating JS file also only. So in this I'll create a notes file, and then what I will do, I will create another component also called as home.jsx, which will be my home, because I will be creating routing. So I need different components for each routing, and I will move this app, that notes from the app to the notes, and I will copy this notes part, into the, okay, so both are nodes, so it's not good to keep both nodes. So let's change this to my notes. Okay, so I will change the file name also to my notes. I'll rename this to my notes, because if I keep nodes, both will fight with each other and it will not work. So right now I removed nodes from the app because all the routing stuff will come in this app, and I moved it to my notes here. Okay, and in the home we have simple home. Now let's put the routing part here. Since I install the routing, I will put the routing stuff in my app.js so that I can go to different routes here. Okay, so let's start the yarn start, and then I will add the routing stuff. So what I have to do, import, one second, import from React router DOM, import browser router, switch, route, redirect. So I'll import this stuff from the React router DOM, and then also I'll import the components home from components home. I will import another one, import nodes from components nodes, and then here I have to start with the browser router, and then I will go inside. I will write down the switch statement. Then I'll start with the route, exact path equal to slash component equal to home. So this is my first route. Second route is something, I will go to nodes, which will take my nodes. I change to my nodes, so let's change this to my nodes. Okay, and then I will put the redirect statement in the end so that if we don't have any route, it should go to the main home route. Redirect equal to slash. So if nothing works, it will go to the slash path. So this is my routing, and this is my nodes, and this is the home. Let's try to see if routing works, and then we will take care of this A part. Okay, what if it's compiling? So you cannot do in the React utilities folder. I just now mentioned React Router DOM will not work in this library one. We have to install React Router DOM only in the client side, not in my library. Okay, so React Router DOM is kind of client side. If you try to install there, things will not work because React Router DOM needs the browser router at the higher level, and library is in, it's a separate thing. It is not dependent on the client side, so it will not find the browser router, so it will not work. Okay, so we have to put in the client side, not in the library. In the library, think about that. The library cannot access your local storage. Library cannot access your local storage. Means it can access if it is done from the browser. It's not, but directly available. Though it can access local storage, you can use local storage, but it has to be done in the browser. So local storage can access, but React Router DOM needs the parent one, this browser router, which does not exist in this one, so it will not work. Okay, so now it's not working. Let's restart. something is not working. It didn't close. Okay, let's start at the port 3001. Somehow 3000 got stuck, and so we have to start with the 3001. Okay, so when I go to 3001, it's home currently because I created a router now, and if I want to go nodes, I am here at the nodes page. Now we have set up the routing part. Now we have to replace the A tag with the routing part. So if you see this A tag, if I use the A tag only, then the page will refresh, and I don't want that page to be refreshed. So I will. Okay, the thing is that now we have to remove the A tag, but I cannot use the link tag in my library because React Router DOM is not installed in the library. Okay, so here we need to write some different way to do that. Okay, so what is the different way which we have to do? But when I go to my nodes, that is this my example folder, here I have the access to React Router DOM. So if I want to see the props, what props are coming here in the nodes, let's check what props are coming. Okay, so let's see what props are coming, and then we have to see how to how to avoid the A tag. So here in the props, we have the history tag, and in history as a push. So we can take use of the history.push when we want to redirect to some other page. So let's take use of this one. So in addition to data and title, I will also pass one callback function. So whenever someone will try to click the URL, so it will call this callback function. And this callback function is nothing but a function like this. And when someone will try to click the link, I will pass this record. So I'll say REC. So it will get the record. Once. Okay. So what I will do. Okay. So what we'll do. we create a callback function which will get record. This record is nothing but this object. Okay, and this object has a URL. So we have to go to this URL. So what we will do, I will do history.push, and here I will say record.url. So what we are doing, whenever someone click the record, someone will click this record, I will call this callback function which I am passing here, which will redirect user to different URL. So let's take this callback function and history. Since history has to be defined also, so I will get the history from the props. So I'll destructure the props, get the history, and then I'll take this callback function, and I will also get this callback function here. And if someone does not pass the callback function, I will create an empty default callback function which will be called. If you by mistake don't pass from here, so I should not give any error. So I'm creating a default value which will return null if I don't pass. So if I pass, it will take that callback function which I'm passing it. But if you don't pass, then it will take from this default value, default props. So let's call this callback function. So someone when try to click the A tag, this A tag, we need to call this callback function. So I'll remove the call A tag, replace with spend tag because we don't need A tag. I will make text decoration in null, none, and I'll make cursor equal to pointer so that it looks like a link. I don't need H reference. Instead, I need on click. So in on click, I will call the function, which will be nothing but the callback, and it will take this record. So each record will go when someone will click on click in the callback function, which I have passed from here, and here it will redirect to proper URL. So let's double check that one. I'll refresh it. Now, since we don't have actually this, this URLs, so it will go to the home page, but we will create some dummy this URL now so that it should go to proper one. So I'll refresh it. When I click this one, you see it's going to home page, but it's very quick. It's not the refreshing the whole page. It's redirecting using the history. So it's very quick. So to show you, let me create a link like this. I'll go to the app.js. I'll create another route. And here I will say ID. And component, I will create some component. Maybe I'll name it as dummy component for now. Let me create some dummy component. And here I will see what props are coming. Okay, now what will happen when someone will go to this URL, it will go into the dummy component, and in the dummy component, we will see the props and we can check what ID is passed. Okay, now let's try again. Okay, let's do the console log. So if I go here, you will see props are coming. We are in the context show 1, 2, 3, and in the props we have params 1, 2, 3. And if I call this one, then we have params as 4, 5, 6, and it is not refreshing the page. You will see I am still in the same page. If it is A tag, the page will get refreshed and it is pretty much loading everything. So we don't want that one. And I cannot use the link tag here. So what we did, we created a callback function, and callback function was coming from here, and here we are using the JavaScript page to redirect to another page. So this is pretty much, I will give you each page now, you put it. Now, though we have to do little more work on this one, but that I will do tomorrow because today I have limited time. So I will give you first is notes.js, which is in the library. Okay, this is notes.js, and this is the app. This is in the examples folder, app.jsx, app.js. I created this one. I'll give you dummy example, dummy.jsx, and then there is a my notes. This is an example. My notes. I'm putting in the React Telegram group. You can get all the files from there, or I will submit also. I'll commit also. If you want from commit, you can take that also. Okay, so I created this one. Now, what is pending in this notes? So pending is like this. What if I don't pass anything? Right now, nothing is displayed, but I should show some message that record not found, something like that. And what will happen if I am trying to call the Ajax call to the server to get this data? So to show this data, and before I show this data, I need to show some loading icon that it's loading, fetching from the server. So I will put some condition that still I'm fetching from the server. So that part I have to put some message that it's still fetching from the server. Wait for a few seconds. Okay, so that two things I will do tomorrow. That is the edge cases. This is the normal, it's working fine. I can use it anywhere I want. I can change the title, I can change the data, I can change the link, I can change the created ad, I can change the description. So the only things remaining are edge cases like loading, getting the data from the server. And if we get the data from the server, but data is empty, so we should show no record found. So that two things I will do tomorrow. So that will be completed, and then I will take this part also. Dashboard. I will start tomorrow this part also. And while I do this one, though I will look into each one, but I will do little fast. Then you can go through each one and see. So typography is there. So I have gone through this whole thing, and I have pointed what things are there. So though I will show you here, but it will be little faster when I will do this one. Okay, so tomorrow we'll start this one, and I will finish this notes part also with some edge cases. That's all for today. Any questions?